The Nazi regime lasted from 1933 to 1945 and was undoubtedly one of the most horrific periods of history.
To begin to understand Hitler, you've really got to understand that he was the most amazing demagogue.
The Nazi Party and its immoral leader instilled one of the most corrupt regimes on the people of Germany and its invisible enemies. However, Adolf Hitler was not working alone.
It's the SS men doing not only the exterminations and are notorious for being some of the most evil and deadly troops.
He had a circle of some of the most barbaric and evil men alongside him, who helped make the atrocities possible.
If there were unpleasant things going on or policies that they didn't like, then somehow that Hitler couldn't know about it, that he wasn't associated with it, it can't have been him. If only the Fuhrer knew, this wouldn't be happening.
These are the Nazi fugitives. Adolf Hitler was a German politician and leader of the Nazi Party. He rose to power as the Chancellor of Germany in 1933, and then as Führer in 1934. During his dictatorship from 1933 to 1945, he initiated World War II in Europe by invading Poland on the 1st of September 1939.
Extremist politics thrives on chaos, poverty, destitution, and want. And what you see as a result of the Wall Street crash and the slump, the late 20s, early 30s, are all those things in this hideous cocktail that an extremist like Hitler, he's saying, I can solve this.
Some of the important ways in which he helped the party to develop was through the initiation of a newspaper, so a party newspaper called the Volkische Beobachter, the People's Observer.
And also what Hitler is absolutely amazing at is speech making. And to begin to understand Hitler, you've really got to understand that he was the most amazing demagogue. He got on that stage, this little man, and he would sort of grow in stature. He would sort of absolutely take over the entire beer hall with his presence. He would shout and he'd get quiet and he would almost enter into a kind of trance. And the audiences would be mesmerised by this. And indeed, they'd be mesmerised by it for decades. And this is key to how Hitler gets into power, because when he's on the stage, he becomes another figure.
On the 30th of January 1933, Hitler was appointed Chancellor of Germany, but of a coalition government. So there were just 3 Nazi posts in that coalition government.
It's very tempting to think that when Hitler comes to power in early 1933, that his grip on power is absolutely total. In fact, he has a very uneven, shaky start. He's still quite worried about public opinion. So what he does is a mixture of passing various laws that give him more and more power, like the Enabling Act, that actually makes him immensely powerful. But also, he takes advantage of various events like the Reichstag fire, in which the German Parliament building burns down. Now, it's highly likely, but never proven, whether the Nazis actually burnt it down themselves. But certainly, in a sense, it doesn't matter. What happens is that Hitler and the Nazis took advantage of the Reichstag burning down to show that there was a communist plot against what the Nazis described as still being a democratic government, and it enabled them to seize more power, by emergency decree.
Very quickly, he turned Germany into a one-party state. So first of all, he made sure to eliminate the influence and power of the German political left, so the Socialist Party and the Communist Party for a start, were banned, but over a short amount of time as well, the Nazi Party was the only legal party too.
Eventually, in January 1933, he becomes Chancellor. Now, don't forget, Chancellor in Germany, and this still remains today, is not, at the time, the head of state. The head of state is the president. So it's the Chancellor, though, who has the real executive power. In order to take as much power as he can, he's also going to have to make himself head of state. And that really becomes an opportunity for him when Hindenburg dies, and he's able to take on the role of both president and chancellor and kind of create this new role for himself, and that is the role of Führer, the German word for leader. That is a fascist term, be in no doubt. This is a kind of new form of governance that Germany now has. Other parties are banned. The only party allowed is the Nazi Party. This has become a totalitarian state, and Hitler can say to the German people, you voted for it. It's a con, and it's a con that worked.
Pageantry, the district leaders from all over Germany swore personal allegiance to him, hypnotized with the belief that they were members of a master race. This film will deal with Act One of the Nazi bid for world power, the most fantastic play in all recorded history.
Hitler starts to build up his power by, trying to employ and find the right people who are going to listen to the beat of his drum and follow it. And so there's a lot of very patient politicking and a lot of persuasion, a lot of speech making. It's a very, very difficult rise to power. But Hitler knows that it can't take place through force. It has to take place from the ballot box and not the bullet.